No, don't start a business, go to university. No, don't go to the gym, go and study more. Why don't you eat what we eat? This is too much protein. What? You don't look fat, you look healthy.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the
John walks throughout his day. He always hears these phrases from his parents and his family. But you must humble yourself and lock in. Your parents say these things out of love, not out of hate. Because in most cases, they think it's good advice and they want the best for you. But you have to understand that in modern society, what we want and what our parents want are polar opposites. Our parents want what they think is best for us, but what might not actually be best for us. So lock in for it, accept it, because battling against it will make things worse. Stop saying no straight up. The conventional advice just doesn't work in the Asian household, does it? Saying no in a brown household is qiyamah, man. You say you lose 4 hours of your day, whether that be through arguments or whatever else. Instead, justify whether you should go. If it's an occasional lunch with your family, maybe it's good. Maybe you'd lose 2 hours of productive time, but you won't have to have 12 hours of arguments after. Otherwise, you're just going to feel like shit, and everyone in your house is going to feel like shit, which is difficult. But also know, just because you don't have to go to something doesn't mean you shouldn't. Sometimes, it's the classic things, oh, do you want to go? It means you have to go. Go if it's appropriate, but obviously don't waste your time either. Remember, when it comes to your parents' funerals or your siblings' funerals, you're not going to say, I was happy because I ignored them to work. You're going to say that I wish I had spent more time with them. But that doesn't mean you should waste all your time with them either. You have to find a balance. Your parents will most likely never truly understand your goals. We want things like worldly success, nice cars, big muscles, nice well-built body, be good at our sport, get a good social status, live in a nice apartment. But the classic Desi stuff of, I want him to look healthy, he should go get a good job, drive a economical car, get married as soon as he can, which can be good, and if it is what's best for you, go for it. But it's not truly what a lot of us want, and so don't ruin your life by listening to people blindly. Take in every advice. Don't disrespect anyone and say, no, I don't listen to your advice. Take advice from a bin man. Take advice from the richest man you know at the same time. Listen through it, think about it, and take it all, because everyone's had different life experiences, and advice is just analogies from people's lives. But don't be disrespectful. Oh no, I don't care. If you say that in the moment, you're just going to cause a problem. Just say yeah, okay, and move on with your life. If you think it's stupid advice, just move on, walk on. Just say okay and be respectful. And write down all your goals in a Google Doc for your family, and then write all your personal goals down and see what matches up, because a lot of it will match up. A lot of it is a different path to get to the same thing. They might say go get a job to get wealthy, you might want to start a business to get wealthy. They both lead to getting wealthy. It's just how you choose to do it, and you have to try and build those bonds through your goals, not through your journey, because they won't like the journey, they just want the goals. They won't be there when you say, oh, I failed. They'll only be there when you're successful, no matter which way it is. And dealing with failure is horrible. With the conventional advice, oh, you just move on, just be proud of it. It doesn't work, especially in a brown household. We all mess up sometimes. Whether you messed up your last test, you got a bad grade, you forgot to take the meat out of the freezer, or you hurt yourself badly while boxing. Stuff happens. And what conversation are you going to have next with your parents? They're going to hit you with the classic, see, I told you, why are you not studying? Why are you going gym? Why are you boxing? Why aren't you focused on taking the meat out of the freezer? Stupid stuff like this. And you're going to waste 3 hours arguing with them, which you could have spent studying for the next test, or putting ice on that injury, or whatever else, or even just taking the meat out of the freezer. They simply won't understand in most cases. Now, of course, you can try to explain it, but making a big deal out of it is usually worse than just brushing over it and saying, okay, look, I know what I've done. And they're going to scream at you for a bit, just firm it, just say, okay, keep your head down, don't backchat. And usually it isn't your fault. Sometimes it is. Maybe you didn't study for this test. We all slip up. Sometimes you back out your phone. And that's okay. We all make mistakes, but you can't make it a habit. And you need to break down the habits which cause you to go down these paths of, oh, I messed up the last 3 tests, or I keep forgetting to take the meat out of the freezer. Stuff like this. Now, toxic study YouTubers don't know what they're talking about. They tell us, oh, I study 12 hours a day in my Google Calendar, how I schedule my day. All of these videos are stupid. Because realistically, it won't work. You're randomly going to get called to a family friend's house. You're going to have to translate a phone call from the bank into your home language. You're going to have to go watch one of the little ones. They're all things that are inevitable, and sometimes you just gotta do them. So rather than saying, I'm going to study from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m, because realistically you're not. Someone's going to knock at your door, someone's going to call you. Plan out your day dynamically. I need to do 4 hours of work to finish my project, and then whenever you have free time, which is rare, but whenever you have it, work on it until you get to that 4-hour mark or until you achieved your goal, and then you're free, and then you can work on other stuffs, or you'll get more free time to do other things. You have to keep in mind, most people day to day, your parents are probably working or they're cleaning the house or something. They are always living in the moment because they're adults, right? We're kind of focused on our future, especially if you're into this grind culture. You're looking at your future, not your current life. But not everyone looks at life the same, and so you have to kind of understand from their shoes, from their point of view, that it might not make sense to go and work now. Maybe you should go and watch the kid because the kid's crying and it's giving them a headache, and that's okay. But you need to also understand that you can't let all of this ruin your future, because in your future you're not gonna say, oh, I could have found the baby crying. You could have. There's things you will regret doing, but there's also things you will regret not doing. Is university right for you? Mera beta doctor hai, mera beta accountant hai. We all hear these things. You must be sick of it. Whose kid is not now becoming a doctor, lawyer, engineer, or something? You might be sick of hearing it, but you have to understand professions play a big role in our culture, and knowing that someone's kid is a doctor or engineer is so much more than just a saying thing for us. But Desis and the Asians and all of this, they're so proud that we came from a different country and now my kid is making what is really good money for most people wherever they are. Maybe this is US, maybe this is Canada, maybe this is the UK, Australia. They've come from Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, the rest of Asia, and they've come and they've worked years and years and years to send you to school because that's the best thing they knew. Uni isn't a scam. It might be if you're studying something like, but if you're studying computer science or maths or medicine or engineering, there is business potential in that. There's business potentials in most things. So don't feel scared to go study, but don't feel like you have to. If you feel like you don't want to go, if you have your doubts, don't go. Now, of course, your parents are going to flame you for it, but just get a job, apprentice, something, and try and explain in the best way that maybe I don't want to go into debt. Maybe I don't feel uni is the best for me. And show them, because results speak 1,000 words. Originally, when I wanted to start this YouTube channel, my mom was like, no, beta, don't let this distract you from school. At the time, my most recent report from school had 2 B's on it. And was this good enough? No. Was I happy with it? No. But rather than resent and scream and be like, no, I don't want to do this, I'm just going to do my YouTube. No, that was just going to get me flamed and I'd never be allowed to do it. But instead, I proved her wrong, and alhamdulillah, I came out with A's in my last report. And you must do the same. Swallow your pride. Know that you're going to go into hard work and you need to lock in. You need to be hustling everything. But you also got to manage that with your family events. And you must grind to see results. But then once you show them your results, you can prove to them that no, this doesn't take away from my YouTube. This doesn't take away from my studies. This doesn't take away from my religion. And then they'll be more accepting. And of course, they're still not going to understand it. Especially if, like me, your parents are a bit older and they might not understand the technological age. Don't make that a big deal. Just be like, look, this is what it means. Explain it to them gently. Because if you're going to be, you don't know about the tech age, they're just going to do your head in that. I know, I came to this country, I know all of this. Of course, study hard, get your work done, but don't let them take away from your passion projects or your side projects, because that's how you're going to build true wealth, not just through working a 9 to 5. Convincing them to let you do certain things is almost impossible. You can't go up to a Desi parent and say, I want to go out. You'll get the standard, why aren't you studying right now? Speech, and then the fights come and then they argue. And instead, navigate it carefully, go out with a purpose. For me, this might be a video shoot or to go to the gym, which they were cool with because they saw my school results haven't been slacking because of it. Start all of these projects small and show them. That might be working out from home. Let them know you're working out from home and that your grades are still doing good. Then you can move on to the gym. Start recording YouTube videos from home, and then you can start recording outside. Learn to balance the small things to show them that you can advance in it more, and then they'll be more willing to say, okay, look, I've seen this hasn't messed up my results. And of course, you're still going to get told off for it a few times, or they might be reluctant to allow you to do it, but inshallah, it will still be okay, and you can go for it, and you can build up these good habits, because you have to realize they think they mean nothing. They think going to the gym is just a distraction. They don't know that it cools you down. They don't know it gives you rest from your mind. They don't know that you enjoy it, and they might not care that you enjoy it. To them, the only relaxation might be watching TV or scrolling on your phone, which isn't good for your mind, and you'll reduce your focus. You won't increase your focus, whereas gym will increase your focus. So don't go out for stupid stuff. You might be able to occasionally with your mates, maybe it's a birthday of your closest mate, your cousins or something, then yeah, go for it. Those things are important. You're going to build your memories, but don't go out stupidly, because then even when you want to do stuff which is important, they'll be more reluctant to let you do it. Don't forget about your religion. We know praying keeps us mentally stable and focused. I read somewhere that doing sajda sends blood to your brain. You can imagine your head's down, pointing down, sends blood to your brain and refreshes you. This is one of the ways where the Prophet was able to sleep less and still be able to work, focus, and all of these things, and even fight. So for a few minutes a day, do go and pray, read the Quran, or whatever this may be for you. This can be done during your breaks. The worst thing most parents fear is you straying away from God, and ensure you don't do this and Allah will help you. Make sure you do use this time to refresh and relax, but also read with intent. Learn the lessons from the Prophets and the Quran, and then inshallah it will help you, and you can build your own routines and you can help yourself with this knowledge. Brain dumps is where you take a document. So I would use Google Docs or any type, which is the app I use. And whenever you have an idea or extra tasks to do, put it into your dynamic routine we spoke about earlier, where you write down your tasks of the day, and then just add a bunch of objectives. And then whenever you have to do these tasks that don't require a certain time, just get them done throughout the day. And then whenever you do have free time, go through these lists of stuff you've built up. So build up a list for restaurants you want to try, places you want to take photos, books you want to read, your video ideas, your gym tracker. Have documents for everything. And when sometimes your parents might not distract you, maybe they're busy, maybe they're out the whole day, so you do have the free time, go through these lists and actually go enjoy yourself and make that one of your free days. And when you enjoy yourself, when you come back the next day, you actually want to work. So like, yes, I can work so I can afford the nice restaurant, so I can afford the nice clothes. Don't get addicted to the small, the buying from Shia and eating fast food every day, because that's when you're going to feel like shit and your productivity is going to go down. So like, this means nothing. I can order from it next day and it is calm. I'll wear it twice. Get some nice designer clothes or some high-end clothes if you have the money, of course, and spend on nice restaurants that you really want to try, but make sure you can afford it and make sure it's not too often, because that's when your parents will say you're lazing off, package kyun aaya nahi. For those that speak Urdu don't know, that's saying like, why did you order a new package? You have them coming every week. But if you're ordering equipment like once a month or twice a month, this will be much better, because they'll see, oh, you're actually working on something. Go get a job or start a business. A lot of people just rely on their parents, and of course that's good. If your parents have the money, go for it. But I knew that I blew my first few years of very small income on random clothes, buying games on Steam, eating out. And sometimes this is good, you should go do it, like I said before. But have a simple rule: invest at least 30% of it back into yourself. That doesn't have to be stocks or something. It can be stocks or gold or assets, but it could also be buying a new book to read that will teach you something, trying a new business venture, because every business venture you try that fails will teach you something. It might be a subscription to a course you found interesting. You could invest the rest in stocks, you could invest the rest in gold, or you can go blow it. But as long as you've invested a good portion of that money into something which will teach you for your future, the rest is fine. Because most teenagers are just spending this money on stupid instant gratification, which is something you don't need. Withdraw yourself from thinking you need instant gratification to be successful or to be happy. You don't. Be content with what you have and appreciate what you have. And then when you go and spend big, you'll be like, whoa, this is amazing. And then you'll truly feel it, and you'll understand why both the small things and the big things are important, that you should be grateful for them. Now sometimes you get blessed, your parents are busy, so busy that they don't distract you at all. This is another time I have my days off. Go do whatever you want in these times, as long as it's reasonable. Don't of course do anything illegal, but you should hit up the sauna at your gym, go meet your boys in the city, go and have fun and get through that list I said before, and get any random tasks you do get done in the morning, so you have the whole day free, and just lock in, have fun, and then work the next day, bang out the next day. But you have to remember, you have to make the memories at this age before life gets old and, God forbid your business plan doesn't work out and you end up working a normal job and just stuck. You're going to think back to these things with, I'm happy I did these, and you're going to learn lessons from them. What can happen a lot of the time is there's kids that I know that are still babied at 17, 18, drop to college every morning, can't go out anywhere. And the parents think they're doing something good because, of course, their kid is always safe and stuff. And this is important to be safe. But if the kid never grows up to be an adult, when they get older, they're just going to be a man-child. And that is extremely dangerous. And, of course, there are certain circumstances where it might be important to do these things. But in most cases, if you truly want to be successful, you have to explain to your parents that babying you is a step in the wrong direction, because the best thing they can give you is freedom. And my final words are, inshallah, we are all successful. You got this. You have to remember that not everyone understands, and that's okay. Keep your head down, and I'll see you in Jannah, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.